Hi, and welcome to Herbal Expeditions, where we talk all things gardening, herbs, and aromatherapy. My name is Shonda. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And for those of you who decide to come back, I'm glad you decided to come and join me. Today's recipe will be a fever-making tea. And you might say, why would I want to have a fever-making tea? Well, the thing of it is sometimes you'll be sick or have a little bug and you will have a fever that is maybe a low grade, but you want to go ahead and make it a productive fever where you can go ahead and sweat those things out. So before we get started, I need to do my disclaimer. I am not a licensed medical professional. The information here is for educational purposes only. Listeners are strongly advised to consult with their doctor before using any remedies on this channel, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, or on prescription medication. If you do not fit into any of these categories, I will strongly encourage you to do your own research to determine whether or not you think that this recipe would be right for you and your needs. Before I get started, let me go ahead and get the water on to boil because we're going to be making a tea today, and I'll need some boiling water. Go ahead and put that. We're going to bring it to a complete boil. So the things that you're going to need for today's recipe, or the tools that you will need, will be a French press. If you don't have a French press, then a mason jar along with a little strainer will be just fine, so that you can strain the herbs out of the water from your infusion. You will need a bowl to mix your herbs, measuring spoons to measure if you're doing spoonsful, or either some measuring device, because this recipe will be done in parts. The herbs that are used in today's recipe, for my part, I'm using a tablespoon as my part because I don't really have fever. I don't really need to sweat anything out, so I didn't want to make a big batch of this tea. But if you've been sick or feeling a little bit down, you may want to use maybe a cup as your part, or a half cup, so that you can make a larger batch, so that you don't have to come back into the kitchen and make it again. But in today's recipe, we will have Tulsi, often referred to as Holy Basil, sage leaves, thyme leaves, yarrow, ginger, and Angelica Root. So those are our ingredients today. I used a tablespoon as my part, so I have 1 tablespoon of Tulsi or Holy Basil. And since my tablespoon is my part, I need a half part of the next ingredient, which is the sage. So I put 1.5 teaspoons in this instance. Then I have thyme, and thyme is my featured herb for the week. So 1.5 teaspoons of thyme, 1.5 teaspoons of yarrow, 1.5 teaspoons of Angelica Root. Said that you're going to need a 1/4 spoon, but what I meant to say is you need 1/4 part of Angelica Root. And so in my case, since I started off with a tablespoon, the 1/4 part would be 3/4 of a teaspoon of Angelica Root, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of the ginger. The other ingredient that you can add to this recipe would be garlic. If you'd like to have garlic in there, it really helps to bring up your body temperature. All of the ingredients in this recipe are warming. They're also drying herbs, except Holy Basil and tonifying. Holy Basil and ginger are both relaxants. So since I have all of my herbs in my bowl, I'm going to give them a mix with a fork, and our water has come to a boil, so it's just about time to get the water in on our herbs. But I want to make sure that they're really well mixed so that I can get some of each inside my French press. They smell so nice. I will go ahead and do this. They're all mixed, and this is going to take 2 to 3 tablespoons. So I guess I'll put a couple tablespoons. There's 1. My water has come to a boil. We'll go ahead, and for 2 to 3 tablespoons, you use 1 quart of water. This is a 1 quart French press, so I know that I have just about the right amount. It's not an exact science. You really would want to allow this to steep for a minimum of 20 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put this here, circulate my herbs a little bit, give them an opportunity to get all wet. It's been about 20 minutes since we put our tea to steep. I'm going to go ahead and press the herbs down and pour up a cup. It has a very beautiful light amber color. Now with this tea, because it is to help produce the fever, to make it more active so that you can go ahead and sweat things out, it is recommended that you drink this as hot as you can possibly stand it. So after it has steeped about 20 minutes, you want to go ahead and put it in the microwave and get it back warmed up to the temperature where you can stand it, and then drink. You can drink about a quart a day while you're still feeling a little bit under the weather, and this should help you really be able to sweat the fever out. The herbs in here are very warming. They're also drying and tonifying. And then you have a couple of the herbs, like I mentioned earlier, the Holy Basil, that is a relaxant, as well as the ginger. Those things will help you kind of relax, because you know whenever we're sick, sometimes we're stressed and maybe a little bit tense. So I hope you enjoyed. Please leave me a comment below. Let me know whether or not you tried this tea, if you liked it, whether or not it was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and I hope to see you back.